This is TWiT.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the practicals that you bring up in your book. You brought up at one point this situation that you had with your husband Ned, where there was an argument brewing about how much time he spent away, and you thought it was about 40%, and he thought it was about 25%, and so there was a very simple thing that you did, which is he started accounting for every day where he was, what trips he made, and it's simple things like that where you can actually both have an objective, actual, factual representation of how much time he spends here or away that heads off a lot of arguments. What are the other practicals that you could give to people who are in this situation where they've got a spouse who is always chasing that next dream?
There is an executive coach that I interviewed who used the term opportunity junkies, that entrepreneurs can fall into this trap where they feel like they have to chase after every single thing that comes their way, every shiny object, every possibility. And it's completely understandable because when you want your baby to survive, you're going to do everything you can to keep it alive. But that's risky because if you are constantly going after everything around you, there is no margin left in your life for anything else. And so this coach actually recommended that entrepreneurs have somebody who holds them accountable to that. So it could be an executive coach, it could be a mentor, it could be a wise friend, but somebody who helps them evaluate all of these opportunities that are coming their way and helps them see, is this really in line with what makes sense for your business? Does this line up with your priorities? What is the cost going to be if you pursue this? And what will you have to sacrifice? How is this going to impact your family? And those are really hard questions to answer. And I think most of us would have trouble looking in the mirror and trying to figure that out on our own. And so I think if you have someone to bounce those ideas off of who can guide you in that and help you make wise decisions of, is this a business opportunity I should go after or not, then that's really helpful because most of the time entrepreneurs are flying by the seat of their pants. And so if you can bring in somebody who has some wisdom to bear, some experience, who has seen this before, and they can walk you through that, then I think that is a really, really helpful resource. And I would say also as much as you can write down. So yeah, we used the spreadsheet to track Ned's travel because we couldn't even agree on how much he was traveling. If you set priorities and make goals as a couple, make sure that you write those down because all of these things actually build up the commonalities you have. It gives you a starting point for your discussions because there's a lot of other things flying around. There's a lot of other things that you aren't necessarily going to agree on. But if you can agree on these things that are in black and white of these are the things that are most important to us. This is the timeline that we're working off of. This is what we agreed our weekly calendar would look like in terms of date night and family night. Those are all things that it helps you to take some arguments off the table because you've already agreed on those things together.